People of Interest can support itself, thank you very much, and doesn't need your charity. People of Interest is doing just fine on our own, all right?
My next guest, Tom Dalton, was originally scheduled to appear on People of Interest prior to the Pennsylvania gubernatorial primary elections last week. However, our interview had to be postponed until now. Mr. Dalton, unfortunately, came in a very distant fifth place in that race, garnering less than 1% of the vote. Nevertheless, Mr. Dalton believes strongly in honoring his commitments and is here with us now. Full disclosure, our original conversation would have focused on Dalton, the candidate, and I did not get a chance to update my questions. So I'll try to adjust on the fly, but many of these questions may not seem appropriate. Tom Dalton.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank everybody who came out and voted. Important thing is getting out and voting, for sure. It would have been nice if someone more had voted for me, but the important thing is, the thing we say in our business is, just get out there and vote. That's all we really care about. So that's what I'm sticking with.
So, to start off, what did you think your chances were? Going into the election, what did you think your chances were?
100%, right? Nobody goes into this thinking. Nobody goes into something like this. Nobody asks people to spend their time to volunteer. No, what kind of psychopath would ask volunteers to work for you, to plead for you, to lie for you, if they weren't going to get jobs as a result? No, 100%. I put all my chips and all my resources. I didn't have the funding of the,
Tom Wolf.
Yeah, Tom Wolf had all the funding. So I put my house and my business. I mortgaged both of those. I didn't even know you could mortgage a business. I didn't know that. Didn't know that until I did it. So what I'm going to do now, a lot of free time. But thank you for, yeah.
Now, your campaign slogan, your famous slogan, why vote for anyone else? Why do you think people voted for
I'm not sure. Maybe they found an answer to that question. You know, I would say, why vote for anyone else? And I really meant it rhetorically. And people, like at rallies, would respond. They would give me their reasons. They would be like, well, you're a terrible handshaker, which I don't think is a good representation of all. Like, fine, Tom Wolf can shake hands. Great. What's he going to do about the oil fracking?
natural gas?
Excuse me?
It's natural gas, not oil.
Exactly. That's my point exactly, Ryan. Fracking is for natural gas. Why are we fracking the oil? That's the question that nobody answered for me. They had an answer for why vote for anyone else. They had an answer for why are we spending all our time fracking the oil when we should be, thank you. I ran on a strict natural gas fracking policy. That's what people didn't get. You know, that's what people just didn't get.
So, how do you think would have stacked up against Tom Corbett in the election against Tom Corbett? If you had won the primaries and were going head to head with
100%. I think I would have gotten 100% of the vote.
So you think you would have won over?
If I had won this, I would have gotten 100% of the vote.
You would have.
Do you read the newspapers, right? Do you know this was the race? It is going to be so easy to beat Tom Corbett. It is like a person who hates people, like a person who comes out and has a very staunch "I hate" fill in the blank.
Schools, for instance.
I hate schools.
Children.
It'd be interesting if it was an "I hate schools" person, because Tom Corbett's running on an "I hate schools" platform. So when you're matching on that, it like cancels each other. That's what he knows.
Right.
Yeah. But Tom Corbett doesn't go on like a "I hate children" or "I hate teachers." That's why he's crafty.
Right.
That's why Tom Wolf was crafty. I hate places and things. Tom Wolf never said, "Oh, I hate X people."
Oh. What were some, what you did?
Do you know my wife voted for Allison Schwartz?
Well, you got 1% of the vote. I mean, there's a 4% margin of error, but
Yeah, 4% margin. There's a 4% margin of error. So what you're telling me, Ryan, is that I could have I could have had people specifically not vote for me. In theory, I could have -3%. I could have had people write in letters saying that they weren't coming in to vote today specifically because I was on the ballot.
Honestly, I don't.
I have the flag, Ryan. It should have been the Pennsylvania flag. That probably is where, as I'm running through the mistakes in my head, maybe I should have been a little bit more local-minded. Talked more about the state needs versus I did talk a lot about what I thought could be changed federally. I really did. And I don't know the names of all the counties.
There was also those, your YouTube campaign seemed to go off the rails because a lot of it was focused on what you would do if you met Barack Obama.
That's what YouTube is for. I had many aides tell me, people don't watch YouTube unless there's a hook. Look at Mitch McConnell. Look at how many people know Mitch McConnell's name now. Bad press is good press in our field of work.
Right.
Now, the things I said I would do if I met Barack Obama, that probably could have gone a little bit better.
You did say you wanted to lick him. I know that's taken out of context, but that was sort of
Exactly. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. These races get so dirty. What I specifically said was, if Barack Obama happened to slip into a pile of butterscotch, I would want to lick him. Because I'm pro-butterscotch, Ryan! That's what people are getting!
It's just, I mean, you clearly had some messaging issue. Did when you debriefed with your staff, what did you talk about? I mean, your marketing manager.
What do you mean?
Campaign manager.
What are you, debriefing?
Yeah, with your campaign manager.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, after the election,
Uh-huh.
a lot of candidates, when they lose, they have a debriefing with their staff to sort of isolate what went wrong, so the next time.
Who would want to do that? No. Oh gosh, no. In that moment of shame, look, I'm moved past it now, but in that moment of shame, no. I went out the back door. I don't know. They might still be in that building for all I know. I kept going forward. I talked to my wife on the phone, and she told me that she voted for Allison Schwartz. I did talk to my campaign manager. I did talk to him. I don't know about them. I did talk to my campaign manager.
Well, final question. Do you have any aspirations for any other offices? Maybe something a little less high profile?
Actually, thank you. If people are interested, I will be running for the assistant librarian at the first free library in Philadelphia. And if I may, George Sanders doesn't know the first thing about filing library books, so I don't see why he should get that position. Also, it's not that hard to vote for assistant librarian. In fact, it's almost unheard of. There isn't going to be any sort of election or anything, but if people would want to write in letters to the librarian, saying hey, this guy could really use a job, I would be really appreciative. But yeah, that's what I'm running for. The dream continues. Why vote for anyone else?
Well, you have my vote for assistant librarian. Tom Dalton, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Actual support for People of Interest is brought to you by Philly Improv Theater, Philly's home for comedy. In addition to shows every week of the year, PHIT offers classes in improv, sketch, and stand-up. For more information, visit